Let's talk about Arizona, Brandon. Well, first of all, I want to tell everybody, um, God's had His hand in all of this, and I want to tell everyone about that big red wave. If we would have got that big, huge red wave everybody was hoping for and praying for, which we would have if we didn't have machines, by the way, 100%. It's so red you can't even find any blue. There's not even any purple. This is a completely red wave. And but if if that would have happened, we would have never been able to get rid of the machines, or it would have been 100 times harder. It would have been, because everyone would have said, "Oh, come on, you guys, it's fine. Our elections are fine." But instead, we were very blessed the morning of the election, and we're seeing that now happening in Arizona. The moment of the when we got up on the morning of the elections, all the machines, all you heard about was machine problems. From Arizona to Kansas to New York, every place in between. You didn't hear about it on the news, Brandon, but we did. People on the ground, it was everywhere. Not just Arizona. Arizona was the biggest and the most. It was ridiculous. Thousands of people turned away. Thousands of people saying you voted, or that either you already voted, or sorry, your ballot doesn't go through. Throw it in the box here, right? Well, as you know, right now, where they're sitting in Arizona, I talked to Carrie Lake before, and she's saying, these people, there's so many disenfranchised people that are out there that didn't get to vote, or that got there and they turned away and they came back, or they didn't, it's basically a new election. You'd almost have to have a new election, or a complete forensic audit, Brandon, because we know from the machines, and we know for everybody from the cast vote records, or not for the cast vote, the Edison report. Everyone needs to know this. That we had the real-time crime desk going on here on the night of the election, and it wasn't just a few of these races. It was almost all of them. You show machine manipulation and computer manipulation. So,
despite only 17% Democrat turnout on election day, Katie Hobbs and Democrats are winning over 50% of Maricopa County election day totals. That's impossible.
Yeah, that's impossible, you guys. That's impossible. They're trying to steal this from Carrie Lake, and like they have all the other races. Now remember, Oz won. We know that for a fact. Mastriano, he was front loaded. We're still running the numbers. We thought we would have the information by tonight, everybody. We will by Wednesday. We believe there was more votes than voters cast again in Pennsylvania. And like I say, Brandon, if it would have been this huge red wave, I really believe people would have said, "Oh, come on, Mike. There's no problem with the computers. Red wave, blue wave, red wave. Boy, if you do good in politics, they're going to vote you in." Well, really? Then how did these all get taken? Why wasn't there a red wave? You could only have one answer: computer manipulation.
Well, how do you get this? How do you get this screenshot if there's not manipulation? Look at this. This is Nevada. Nevada, you have the senator, the Democrat senator wins. How convenient, so they can take the Senate. But the Republican governor wins. So you're telling me that everybody that went to vote for the Republican governor then turned around and voted for a liberal U.S. senator?
The gal that's the Arizona treasurer that won, she got 250,000 more votes.
Right. That's right.
Than your Carrie Lakes or your Finchams or your Blakes. Now, Masters. Now that's impossible. Never happened in history before. Those are called deviations from norm, and they're impossible. This is computers. Is everybody going to sit there and go, "Oh, Mike Lindell, they took it in other ways." And a lot of the problems, Brandon, these GOPs in these states, we're finding all the way across now. A lot of them called me up and said, "Well, Mike, you were right. What do we do now? What do we do now?"
Yeah, what do we do now?
Yeah, now that because they're seeing it, the money spent, everybody, the money spent on elections, the millions and billions. I don't know how much is spent, but it's got to be close to billions. I don't know, for sure, hundreds of millions of dollars spent. If you count the time, the volunteers, and the resources put into that, all to have you. You lose. Sorry, I win. Here, wait. Who do we want to win here? No, you're sorry. You lost. It doesn't matter how much money you spend. on your election.
Well,
Those ships sailed. That ship sailed, and that should show anyone out there, all these campaign got people and all this stuff. When I told them earlier, they were calling me on election night. Mike, is there something to these machines? Really? Hello? You think I got better things to do than do this every single day of my life? We lose our country otherwise. This is what this isn't. It doesn't matter what party that we're talking about here. If the machines and computers aren't gone, we lose our country forever. I don't know how else to say it. And who is this we lose it to? The Uniparty. The Uniparty. Remember that. The CCP, China, the deep state, and the globalists. Let me tell you, Brandon, I'm going to tell everybody too, we're going to have a big report on China on Wednesday. All you journalists out there all that are watching, I suggest you tune in Wednesday. We're going to show evidence of China intrusion on Wednesday. Remind me of that too, Brandon.
All right.
We're going to do a half-hour show, half of my show on how China was part of this attack on our country. Now, this is an attack by China. You can't even say it any other way.